careful of what you say.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
I would say
Well,
wait.
you're retired, so you're safe.
Yeah.
They can't fire you. It's really great to see you, everyone here. It's really nice. Anna, miss you.
Is Anna on? I heard you say her name, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen her.
Yes, we don't see you.
I know I'm driving.
Tina.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, hi there. You are. Hi there. I'm driving. I figured I'll keep my bandwidth low.
Yeah. Hi, Kathy. Nice to see you all.
Hi,
Cool.
Kathy.
Should we, what do you think? Should we start?
Definitely.
Yes.
I hate it when people don't use turn signals.
There we go.
You're not on mute, Christina.
We're about to start. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, welcome to our Family Farm's 7th annual May 20th GMO-free Seed Sanctuary celebration. We acknowledge that we are welcoming you from the sacred lands of the Tacoma and Shasta peoples. I'm Peggy Smith, board chair of our Family Farms, and I'm excited to welcome you all to this year's celebration. We have some folks in the Zoom room this evening who were dedicated supporters in the 2014 campaign to ban the growing of genetically modified crops in Jackson County. And we expect there to be a few new to the Valley people who want to learn more about how we became one of just 9 counties in the country who are seed sanctuaries. I'd like to give you a little overview of what the evening is going to be like, what topics we have scheduled, so you know what to expect. First on the agenda is a short update on the work of our Family Farms. Then Ann Golden will acknowledge Chris Hardy, known as the guy who started this whole thing, and also recognize others who were key to the campaign's success. Elise Higley will cover the history of the campaign. Our special guest speaker, George Kimbrell, legal director at Center for Food Safety, will give us an update and share a few memories. George's presentation will be followed by a Q&A session. Door prizes will be awarded by the spin of a wheel. After the door prizes, we'll have we've allotted some extra time for those who want to share memories of the campaign. So I'd like to invite Maud Powell, our Family Farms Board Secretary and SOU Extension Director of the Small Farms Division, to share a Zoom orientation with you. Thanks, Maud.
Thank you, Peggy. It's so great to see all of you tonight. Thanks for being here. And I'm assuming, unless you lead an incredibly charmed life, that you've been spending perhaps hours a day on Zoom for the past 13 months. But if not, I just want to point out a few things to you just to make your experience tonight as enjoyable as possible, since we all can't be in the same room together. So first and most basic is I've actually gone ahead and muted everybody preemptively, but just for the sake of being able to hear each other, our speakers, as well as possible, please just keep yourself unmuted until later in the evening when we'll be able to share stories and talk, but there may be ambient noise that you're not aware of. So go ahead and keep yourself muted. There's a couple ways to view Zoom. So if you go up into the right-hand corner of your screen, depending on what device you're on, but most of you probably have a button that says view on the top of your screen. And right now with Peggy showing a slideshow, you've got side-by-side speaker or gallery. I would go ahead and click on speaker. I think it's going to be probably better to participate in the evening by watching speaker view. And then we wanted to invite everybody to go ahead and use the chat box. So again, if you're not familiar with the chat box, it's down in the bar on the bottom of your Zoom screen. If you click on chat, then a window will open over on the right-hand side. And we already have, Nancy has declared this to be a friendly group, which is a great way to start the chat. We wanted to invite everybody just to put a quick note in there introducing each other. Many of you probably know each other, or introduce yourself. Many of you probably know each other, but if you wanted to just say a quick word about who you are in the community and perhaps how you were involved in the campaign, that would be wonderful. And then one other quick thing, later we'll be doing a Q&A. And so if you want to raise your hand, also on that lower bar about 4 spots over from the chat box icon is a reactions icon. If you click on that, you can see a raise hand button, and that's the way you can raise your hand. You can also visually raise your hand. I think Tina's going to be tracking the Q&A, so she'll be looking for those raised hands. And then finally, while we have this slideshow up, I don't know if you all are able to see the slideshow clearly, or if it looks like the font is too big and you're just seeing kind of a lopsided version. The way to remedy that is if you go to the very top of your Zoom screen, there's a button that says View Options. And if you click on View Options and you click the button Fit to Window, then all of a sudden you'll be able to see the entire screen. And I believe that's all for Zoom orientation. If you do have any specific Zoom questions, you can direct a private Zoom message to me or to everybody, but yay, and I can see people are writing in their intros. That's wonderful. So yeah, you can send a direct message just to me saying I'm having trouble with this, or you can send a group message and someone will help you. So with that, I'm going to turn this back to Peggy.
Thank you. Okay, I lost my papers. Thank you, Maud. Well, I'm going to start with our update on the work of our family farms. We're going to start with last year. Since you know that all of the fun gatherings we had planned, we couldn't do because of COVID. So what we did was we focused on the community and how we could support them. So we found a way that we could show our appreciation to the frontline healthcare workers who were working specifically with COVID patients, and at the same time provide customers to our farmer members. So we shared our gratitude with the healthcare workers by creating gratitude gift cards that were redeemable at local farm stores and farmers markets. In a short time, we raised $2,500, which provided 100 healthcare workers with $25 gift certificates. It was a win-win, and it was a fun project to be a part of. The gift cards were handed out to COVID-focused healthcare workers at La Clinica, Asante, Siskiyou Community Health Center, Rogue Community Health Center, and Providence. The vendors who graciously offered to redeem the gratitude gift cards were Grants Pass Growers Market, Rogue Valley Growers Market, and the following farm stores: Fry Family Farm, Oshala Farm, Whistling Duck Farm, and Daily Blessing Farm. Some of the healthcare recipients of those cards sent our family farms photos and thank you notes. Here are just a few that we received. Our second project of last year was one we did not go looking for. It found us just days after the Almeida and Obenchain fires tore through our community and we developed the Farmworker Fire Housing Fund to raise money specifically for the farm workers and their families who lost everything in the fires. We partnered with Fry Family Farms and Lamera Flower Farms. We raised over $312,000. 46 farm workers and their families received seed grants for immediate housing relief. Money came in literally from all over the world. Locally, money was raised by musicians giving Zoom concerts, artists donating their art sale funds. Even this young man who did odd jobs for his neighbors and friends raised $300 to donate. 20% of the funds are held for a long-term sustainable farm worker housing project. We're investigating options and possible partners, and we are still receiving donations earmarked for the Farm Worker Housing Fund. This year, we have an educational series coming up, addressing climate resilient farming, a free farmer to farmer Zoom series. The first sessions are scheduled for June 13th and July 11th, 6 p.m. on Zoom. You can RSVP online at ourfamilyfarms.org, resilient farming. More sessions in that topic will be coming up. And the Rogue Valley Farm Tour is back this year. That's one of my favorites. It's a free annual event that brings the eaters to the growers, literally where they live. It's on Sunday, July 18th, 10 a.m. to 3:30 to 3. We're excited this year because Our Family Farms partnered with Pollinator Project Rogue Valley this year to create an interactive game. It's a sort of pollinator scavenger hunt. When you pick up a farm tour map, you'll receive a pollinator identification form, like you see on the screen. So you can check off what pollinators you saw on which farms. There will be prizes given as a part of the game. And while you're out visiting the farms, make sure you stop by the Our Family Farm booth that's going to be located on Alshala Farm in the Applegate. Our member events, special member events, is scheduled for fall of 2021. It's in the works. Watch for more information and make sure you become a member of Our Family Farms so you can get in on the fun. Now, I'd like to turn it over to Ann Golden, who was such a wonderful fundraiser during the campaign, and served for several years as president of the board of directors once we became a nonprofit organization. Turn it over to you, Ann.
Well, thank you, Peggy.
Welcome.
I feel so blessed to have the assignment tonight to really appreciate and acknowledge people. So I wanted to acknowledge a few past board members that are in the gallery right now. And that is Dr. Ray Seidler. So Dr. Ray Seidler, if you want to raise your hand. And so let everybody know who you are. And Professor Mary Middleton, is she in the room also? Hi, Mary. Christina Lefevre helped we draft our bylaws, did a beautiful job. And then from the steering committee, gosh, Barbara Richard did come. We're so excited. And Anna Seeley And then our brilliant coach for the campaign is actually in the room, Brent. And I did during the campaign, I remember asking him, where did you go to summer camp? Because no one is having as much fun as you. So he made the whole campaign fun for all of us. And I just wanted to acknowledge and thank him for that. And so with that, the most important person that I want to acknowledge and appreciate and thank is my good friend and colleague, Chris Hardy. And so Chris, the first time I saw Chris was on stage in Seattle at a seed conference with Dave Murphy from Food Democracy Now! And he was talking about a campaign in Jackson County, which I had no idea about. And I thought, oh my gosh, this could be something. So it was a great talk. And when I got back to Ashland, you know, we got together and he filled me in on the campaign and all that was going on. And I thought, wowie, kazowie, this is just really too good to be true. So I have to say, Chris Hardy changed my life, you know, by getting me into this mess, as I say, but it really, it's been such a passion to really support creating a healthy place where the earth can breathe and to really reduce the pesticide use and eliminate genetically engineered crops. And we thank Chris for that. And so Elise is going to talk about the campaign a little bit more, but I do want to acknowledge that early on, Chris, you know, honest, when we went live, Chris had already gotten almost 500 supporters, over 100 farms and 150 restaurants and business people and individuals. It was 7 pages with about 80 people on every page or every business. And I want to just acknowledge that, Chris, because that was footwork, that was perseverance. And, you know, just when you get a no, thank you, just moving on. And I just admire you for that. So Chris is a farmer with roots in Iowa. His family it goes deep, and he has farmed across the globe. Chris has farmed and collected seeds from like all the stands, Uzbekistan and other places, and India. And his heart and soul are really with the power of seeds. And I got a lot of lectures during the campaign. It's about seeds, Anne. And I got it. I absolutely got it. He was my teacher, and I'm grateful for that. And so as a person, all that he has achieved up until now, because he is farming all across Jackson County, you know, growing ancient grains, you know, it's really who Chris is that informs what he does. He is kind, he's compassionate, he's thoughtful, he has perseverance. When things don't go a certain way, he rebounds and tries something else. He's engaging and a real a friend. If you look up friend in the dictionary, you will see his name and his face. And so it is my pleasure. And Chris has just stepped off the board after all these years with our family farms. So we are honoring Chris, and hopefully you can see this. And it is a beautiful framed image of our beets. And it says, thank you for your support of our family farms and our mission to protect farmers, farms, and seeds. Our family farm seed warrior 2021, Chris Hardy. And Chris, that's you. So this is yours, and we can make arrangements, you know, to get this to you tomorrow. But I want you to have this like forever and ever. Amen. And we'll unmute you for a couple of minutes, Chris, if you'd like to say something. Yeah. Maud, can we unmute Chris, or can he do that himself?
Oh, there. Did it work?
Okay, here you go. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Oh,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. That's so sweet of you guys. I miss you guys so much. So many good memories, so much just the history, it's just like the battle that never ends. How does it go? The battle continues, you know? And just really grateful that so many amazing pieces of our community and our extended family showed up to make the magic happen back in 2014. and just so much gratitude for many of the folks, and that you mentioned, everybody. I'm just like, it's so great to see you on here and be on this Zoom call with you all, celebrating such an amazing anniversary that we have, our memories, this valley, our future, our seeds, our children. You know, this is really about our future, and it's so inspiring. You all inspire me. Like, every day you inspire me. Every time I think about seeds, when I think about, you know, Monsanto and like the David and Goliath battle, just think about you all and how you all showed up, and how so many people in our valley, so many thousands of people showed up in our valley to say yes to family farms and the future of seeds. So I'm just so grateful that our board and Jennifer and that everybody is just cranking it out and rocking it out, because the work never ends.
Chris,
Yep.
thank you so much. Those words. I can't believe you're standing in front of a barn. This is so great. So so to take your lead, we're going to toast, and I see Julia and Matt there. It's so exciting. I just didn't see you on. We're raising a glass with whatever beverage you have close by. And we want to thank you, the community. You all are here representing not only the work that you did, but all the other people that couldn't be here tonight, that stepped up in whatever way they could to make this happen. And so I toast to our strategic partners, our community members, our volunteers. Janae is on here. Janae has written more thank you notes to our friends, I think, than anyone I've ever met. So thank you, Janae, and so many more. But this is a toast to you in gratitude and appreciation and love for showing up. Hear, hear. Okay, thanks. And now I'm going to pass the baton to Elise Higley, our beloved farmer, executive director, former executive director, director of the campaign, and you name it, magic tea maker. So Elise, it's yours. And I think she's
Thank
oh,
you.
very good. Thanks.
Yay. So thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for all your time and everyone. Yeah, it's really just today I woke up and dusted this hat off. I see a lot of people have some campaign paraphernalia. I definitely have more gray hair and now wearing glasses 7 years later. So it was a little rude awakening. But yeah, I just wanted to say that it's so amazing what we all created. And a lot of us have had probably more fame and glory than we deserve, especially me, and just being a face on so many aspects. And want to say that none of this could have happened with all of us together, making all our parts, big and small, like every single phone call, everything that happened. So Chris, kind of what you said, I remember when you called me asking me to get more involved, and I was like, oh, damn it, he's calling again. Like, he's like, Elise, you got to do this. You have a grandkid coming. Come on, I was like, oh, the guilt. But that's what it kind of was about. It was like all of us kind of thought, we all had things to do and busy schedules, and we all took time out and made this happen and made some magic in Jackson County. So I just want to review some little memories we have of photos. There could be so many more, and hopefully next year we'll celebrate with some even different ones. But the fact that we created this GMO-free seed sanctuary in Jackson County is just so amazing. And of course, at the same time, our sister county, Josephine, did the same thing. And we're still, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but we're still working to make that happen. So I just am so proud. Even yesterday, I gave a presentation for the Oregon Department of Agriculture nationwide about farming. And my very first statement I got to say was, I farm in GMO-free Jackson County, Oregon. And all of these comments from across the nation came in like, that is so cool. That's so awesome. How'd you guys do that? Da, 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 da. So I love to brag and feel really fortunate that we are protected from the contamination of genetically engineered crops. It's something all of you were part of. So I just really appreciate that. So, and first, Chris's big effort was getting the farmers involved. Barbara and Brent came on, Barbara Richard and Brent Foster, who are both here with us tonight. And I remember Barbara and Brent trying to get me involved after I think Chris must have given my name on something. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And they're like, perfect, because anybody with a political background won't take this job. So you can do it. So it was just quite a amazing experience. I don't even know how many times we had the news out there. Brent finagled all kinds of, I don't even know, what did we do to get the press there? Everything, I mean, gosh, at least it wasn't during COVID. Well, during COVID, we probably would have gotten more press because people were pressing for something different to talk about, but it was pretty exciting. There's Steve Fry and Barking Moon and Mary Alionis, Wandering Roots. The farmers just all kind of stood up, even though we were so busy in springtime. And then of course the community, it was so amazing. This is a picture from our first office in Ashland, campaign office, and Julia is on the call too. And I remember she took on that office. And it was, I mean, we had over 700 volunteers working at all of this. And so many of you are on today. So it was, I mean, gosh, Christina, you just were an amazing orchestrator of this volunteer group. I mean, it was just amazing. And then, Kristen helping with all those clipboards and trying to train us. None of us knew what we were doing. I think there was a handful of people who had some kind of political experience, and the rest of us were just novice, passionate seed lovers that wanted to protect the seeds. So it was just amazing. I mean, we had these rallies and people came together, and Brent made sure we had happy green and yellow signs. And then Leno came into the picture. I want to go back to Leno. I hope he's on the call tonight. I mean, this guy shows up and just, I don't even know, Anne, I think you might have been part of that and making that happen. And it was just like, the right people just all showed up at the campaign, right? And there's Belle with him. It just was, he really made us realize like the Latino voice was missing in the campaign. And that's what was so beautiful about this work, is that it was, everybody came together, right? It was a nonpartisan issue. We were here to protect the seeds and for future generations. And we just were all in it 100%, working day and night. These bee costumes, we were trying to get people not to do this kind of thing. No fish cars. Remember, we were like hiding fish cars during the campaign. It was so great. Everybody had their different way of showing their support. And, it was a job of reining it all in. It was beautiful. There's Matt there. And even the youngest of people, like, still today, we're inspiring our youth to raise money and to know that they make a difference. And that is just so special. This is one of the newspaper articles of all the farmers that signed up. There was hundreds of farmers, hundreds of businesses. We made sure to get this sign up out there on the highway in Medford. We had support everywhere. I mean, we were going everywhere to get the vote out. And I think we had record-breaking voter registration in Jackson County, in the history of Jackson County. So it was pretty cool. Signs, oh my gosh, Michael put up, I don't even know how many signs all across the county. It was amazing. It was just so great. Jake, I don't know if he's here tonight, but man, all those signs, he even handmade signs. So it was really special. And Dr. Seidler, oh my gosh, Ray, you are just an amazing man. I mean, the first time I listened to you talk, I think I said, we hadn't even met yet. It was early on at Ollie, and I heard you talk and I thought, dang, I'm super glad I got involved with this. I mean, I knew it was important work, but I had no idea the impact of what we were about to take on until I heard you speak. And it just blew my mind. And you had this way of being so knowledgeable, but at the same time, bringing it down to the level that I could understand. So I just so appreciate you and what you did for the campaign. And I just don't even know if we would have succeeded without you. So I just am so grateful for what you offered. So thank you. Thanks for being here tonight. Really appreciate it. So another instrumental person who is no longer with us that I wanted to make sure to acknowledge was Jonathan Sparrow, amazing farmer. And oh man, I mean, how many people are still growing sugar beets? Not many, and non-GMO sugar beets. He had them going on. That's a trailer full. He's standing by, so proud. And the corn seed, he donated it, and we purchased pounds and pounds of corn seed and created these seed packets to explain what we were trying to do in the work and the importance of having a seed sanctuary so we can protect our seed for generations to come. And just thank you, Jonathan. You are here in spirit. We are continuing to plant your seed, and it is going all over. And I know that there are farmers, many farmers that are still planting his seed today and spreading that on. So the work that he did will not be forgotten. So just wanted to make sure to acknowledge him. What do we have next? Oh, and just a picture, this amazing Grassweiler family, just so many family farms came up, and, Brent did an amazing job of making sure that everybody was, all aspects of the farming community were part of it. We were even in the Pear Blossom Parade in Jackson County. This was us prepping. This was like, I don't know, was one of my favorite parts of the campaign for sure. Tracy Harding, there's Jared in the corner with the red shirt, of course. And Jared was, gosh, I called him to just say today, like, hey, Jared, I'm thinking of you. You're another one that was just like, I don't know. I mean, there he was, the voice of the Republican farmer. And it was so great to hear like that we cared about the same things, regardless of our political opinions. And it was wonderful. So this is us prepping for a tractor brigade. For those of you that remember, 18 days before the ballots were sent out, we had 18 tractors lined up in downtown Medford. We ended up stopping traffic, and we are going to show you a quick little, I think Jennifer, hopefully Brent's not going to be mad, but I think the video is shortened just a tad. So we'll look at it a little bit. So Jennifer, take it away. A little tease. If any of you want to see the whole video, you can. But that was really a special time when so many farmers, we were all busy, in the spring, and literally came out of the dirt, out of the fields, and drove tractors in and got trailers to bring those in that tractors couldn't come. And it was an amazing, amazing sight to behold for sure. So thank you for showing that. Oh, again, encore. No. So I wanted to just say, this is a photo of the front page of the newspaper, the GMO ban passes. I mean, it was shocking, right? I mean, maybe Brent thought we could do it, but I don't know. I think we were all pretty shocked. And then Joko, the same thing, 66%. It was an amazing night. And yeah, I just remember, I want to have Brent say a couple of words, but for me, Brent, like, just remember like you having us, we drove all around collecting ballots from people who hadn't turned them in and meeting people, and just like, it was just such an amazing day. And when we heard that we won, I remember you said, do you want to make an announcement? I was like, not until it's verified. So Brent, do you think you could say a little something right now about the evening and your experience with us?
I think I've managed to get my my Zoom working, but yeah, I think the thing that was so cool about this group, and I'm Brent, and if you hear my son playing the whistle in the background or any other various noise, this is life with two kids. But it was so cool to me, and I've done several ballot measures since then, and can always point to the Jackson County win as like, if Jackson County can take on Monsanto, kick the crap out of them, then pretty much you can do anything. And literally it was just lots of people, and I just point in any direction, and many of you are on the call with us, where it's like we did things that you never thought you could do or never thought was possible, and managed to take down one of the largest corporations in the world that outspent us like whatever 50 to 1 or whatever it ended up being. But when I was helping kickstart the ballot measure in Portland, that some of you may have heard about, to tax Walmart and other big kind of mega retailers 1% on everything they sell to fund basically renewable energy and job training for low-income minority kids. And there's some of the people in the room at the beginning were like, "There's no way we're going to win. They're going to stop us." They'll outfund us and everything else. And literally the Jackson County example was the best motivator. It's like, well, if they could beat, Monsanto in a Republican county with, a couple $100 to their name when we started, then we ought to be able to do this in Portland. Which in fact, we won in Portland by a similar margin what happened in Jackson County. So, but I just loved it, because so many of everyone just stepped up at every single level, from like, Peggy running the office and to Elise stepping into this job that she knew nothing about. And yeah, she's totally right. Like I did say, I think we had tried to hire campaign managers and even had some money, thanks to Ann's fantastic fundraising, to hire campaign managers. And this was such a lost cause. We couldn't get anybody who had experience to even take the job, which to me was fantastic. And it ended up being, we ended up with the best woman for it. And, but just really, everyone from board members on down to volunteers who, made it happen. It was just awesome to see, and just continue. I think about it all the time, and, say thanks to everyone. And I raise a glass as well, as I'm going to probably have to hop off here in a minute and sit down and eat dinner with my, I have a 2-month-old and a 3-year-old. So dinner time calls. But again, thanks to everyone for pulling this together, and so great to see Peggy and everyone else who've continued doing this great work down there.
Nice.
There's my beer raised to everybody.
It's probably empty.
Thank you.
Well, no, I do have a little bit left.
Nice. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you all.
Oh my gosh. You don't want to be somebody who just lives in the past, but once in a while, it's great to look back and remember what we did, for sure. So thank you so much. So I want to keep us on schedule and honor that. But I just want to also make sure that all of us know that May 20th is such an amazing day, because on top of it, most of you know that once we won the suit, and we got sued, and the county was, somebody's gonna have to dig on. I want to introduce George next, because George is from Center for Food Safety. And during the lawsuit, we ended up, oh my gosh, someone's got it. Ann, I'm calling on Ann. Okay. Can we do it or no? I got this. Okay. So as most of you know, we ended up getting sued. They didn't come out and say it was Monsanto, but during the deposition, they told me that it was Monsanto. So that cleared the air for me. And we had, again, these amazing people, and thanks to so many people who brought the right players together, and Barbara, Brent, so many others. Center for Food Safety came to the rescue, like for so many other people they have done. But for us, this was amazing. And I'm really proud to introduce George Cambrell from Center for Food Safety, and tell us a little bit about his memories working with the Jackson County lawsuit, and just about what the update is going on in the world with GE. And I'll let you take it from here, George. It's an honor to have you here tonight. Thank you. And I'm forever grateful for the work that you've done for the community.
Thank you, Elise. That's too kind. And good evening to all of you. That's some excellent presentations to follow. So I will do my best to give a few thoughts. Let's see if I can make this so it's. Can everyone hear me okay and see me okay? Okay, great. Yeah, no, so hello to many of you. I just jotted down Brent, Barbara, Elise, Chris, Ray, Mary, and all of you I have, and I'm sure there's folks on the call as well that I'm missing there. But you know, Jackson is a special place, and mostly it's special place topographically, but also because of the people, and has special people, namely you all and people like you. And so, you know, it was our privilege and honor to be involved at all and support first the initiative, ballot initiative, and then of course, you know, in the litigation. So hard to believe it was that long ago now. It doesn't seem like that to me. It seems like it was pretty recent. But as been said, you know, I think, and underscored by Elise and Brent, you know, the Jackson County example is a really powerful one and continues to be. It is this sanctuary that you all created and that we were able to protect under attack and has prevailed and sustained. And as such, you know, it provides an alternative to the dominant paradigm that we see of industrial agriculture. And so literally it's about seeds, as Chris was saying earlier, and it is a seed. It's hopefully a seed itself of a new food system, a better food system for our kids and generations to follow. You know, we need more Jackson counties, but the fact that we have one, I think, is a small miracle. You know, created through hard work and strategy in the ballot initiative and then in the litigation. So I guess my own memories, and you know, I've worked, I should say, at Center for Food Safety doing this work for 16, 17 years now, and I've worked with communities on the ground all over the country doing work when it comes to pesticide issues and genetically engineered crop contamination issues related to these. And the Jackson experience is a singular one for me, for the reasons that have been explained tonight. And it's like a warm embrace to talk with all of you again and to remember and reminisce, which I think it's important. You have to celebrate the victories. Sometimes they can seem far and few between. So very, very important to do that. Particularly David and Goliath type victories like this one and like the ones in the work we do. So I would say my first interactions were actually during the campaign. I did some advising on the legal writing for the initiative itself early days, and had talked with Chris and some others about that. And then I actually flew down there. There was some kind of a panel debate where they wanted a lawyer to talk. And so I came down for that. And then for whatever reason, I think I was there on election night. I have really fond memories of that celebration as well. And then of course the litigation started not too long after that, later in that year. And one thing I should say about the Jackson litigation, and I'll give a few words on it and then give the update, I don't want to go too long, is that it was a really condensed litigation. I have cases now that I've been working on for 6, 7, 8 years, and sometimes they're iterations. So it's like, you know, this number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So, but at a minimum, they go for a few years. The Jackson case was very expedited because of the circumstances and the removal to federal court. It was really just the end of 2014 and then into the spring of 2015. And what that meant was a whole lot was really jam-packed into, you know, a 6-month, 8-month period of really intense discovery and litigation. And, you know, I think as Elise was saying, you know, the bad guys here had local plaintiffs that were challenging the initiative, but really we knew where the money was coming from. They had a big Portland law firm, Markowitz firm, with a famous, you know, partner and his minions that were litigating the case. And so there was definitely a lot of money behind it. And so, you know, Brent really early on, he's great at strategy, just like he was in litigation strategy, just like he is in legislative strategy. You know, he and I talked and we thought, okay, well, we're really going to need a strong legal team on this. I definitely wanted to do everything Center for Food Safety could, but we knew in this type of an expedited case, we would need help. So we put together a really strong legal team for the case. We had Tom and Leah from the law school. We had myself and Amy from CFS, and then kind of Brent also behind the scenes in litigation, really 5 of us, but it was more than that. We had Ray as one of our experts. We had Chris and Elise that in the depositions, getting deposed and spending 8 hours a day, which is really not fun in depositions. I'm sure any of you that have been in that situation know, but I would say I was down there in Medford a number of times, probably a half dozen times during that really intense period, along with the rest of our legal team, as we did first the kind of client depositions on both sides, where we deposed their clients and then they deposed ours. And then for the expert depositions, another time after that for several hearings. So, it was always wonderful to be there and to spend time with the folks on the ground there that made us feel very welcome. And that made it a really special thing as well, I would say. One secret weapon we had in the case was this guy, Bernie Moore, who was a local lawyer. And Bernie was a firm guy, but he had a nice office there in downtown Medford where we could kind of have home field advantage for the depositions. He hated Monsanto. It had a bumper sticker on his car that said something about Monsanto, overturn Monsanto or something like that. I'll never forget it. But so he was a great little inside story anecdote that I remember. And then I have really great memories of working with many of you, like I said, during this very intense 4 to 6 month period of discovery leading up to May 20, the hearing in Jackson County. So, and I would say that I remember Chris and Ray and Don Tipping, Bill Freeze from my office, all doing heroically under intense fire from these folks in these depositions. And conversely, we put in a lot of work. They had their own experts. They had this guy, what was his name? Bradford from the University of California at Davis, who had a lab down there that did a lot of ag biotech work. And so I had a great day one day with him, taking him apart and talking about where all his funding came from. And he had never actually ever been to Jackson County, so we really hit him on that. And one of the major issues in the case was the commercial damage to organic farmers from transgenic contamination. So just walking him through all the many places all over the country where contamination incidents had caused, both financial as well as irreparable harm to farmers. And just building as strong a record as we could. And I mean, I think the biggest memory for me is the day of the hearing. I've argued a lot of cases and been at counsel table in a lot of cases over my entire career, and I've never seen anything like that Little Medford courthouse on that day. It was unbelievable. I mean, there were people packed in that courtroom and then outside watching on the video and then spilling out into the street. And that showing made a huge difference. I mean, it was just very clear to the court and to Judge Clark how important the case was. I don't think that it swayed his views on it and how he was going to decide it, but it really, I think, mattered as to showing where the local support was in the case and what the case was really about. And narrative. I mean, in the law, what oftentimes we'll say, give me a good client and good facts, and I can beat, the other side every day and twice on Sunday. I mean, I think we had a really good, compelling narrative, as was said, to bring to the court as far as a bipartisan coalition in support that we represented in the case, and why this really mattered. From an ecological perspective and a perspective of future generations, but also from an economic perspective, that it was real. And one of the great things about the decision that we won is that it does really create another brick in the wall of judicial precedent that makes cognizable, to use the legal term, transgenic contamination. It means cognizable just that it matters. And for many, many years, and still, when it comes to the pesticide industry, their view is that, well, just get over it. Who cares if it's all Roundup Ready everything, or now dicamba resistant everything, or 2,4-D resistant everything. Our stuff is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And so really getting set in the law that type of seed mixing and seed contamination matters and causes injury to a fundamental right of farmers and a fundamental right of consumers and ecologically, is a huge victory that you can then build from, as far as that being legally cognizable injury. That's the way that you can change the world through litigation, is through having impact litigation and taking these rights and codifying them in law and then trying to apply them. And so, since the Jackson, we certainly have tried to do that as much as we can. But I think it stands as a matter of Oregon law, since it's a case technically that involves the Oregon Right to Farm Act. But really, every state has their own version of a Right to Farm Act that has something similar to Oregon. So I think it's much broader than just Oregon as far as what it means. But yeah, I mean, can't say that enough about that day at the courthouse and how powerful a showing that was, and how it mattered. I could see it in the guards at the courthouse that day in their eyes, and they told me, they said, I've never seen it. I've been, here at the Medford courthouse for X number of years, and I've never seen anything like this. So yeah, I mean, I would say just quickly about what's going on now. Elise asked me to update you all. I mean, I would say, you can check this stuff out on our website. We keep it pretty up to date. Mostly in the last 4 or 5 years, it's been a lot of stopping the bleeding from really bad Trump actions on my end on the national front, just trying to, stem the tide with a lot of those things. Now with the new administration coming in, there's some more proactive opportunity potentially, although, it's kind of a wait and see situation with Vilsack being the ag sec again. Doesn't give me I'm pretty cynical about it, to be honest, but we'll see. We have several big GMO cases right now. One is our labeling case, which we filed late last year. That's the kind of final battle over whether or not genetically engineered food will be labeled, and that builds on the ballot initiative that we did here in Oregon in 2014 that I helped write, that we narrowly lost, and then the one in Washington in 2013, and the Vermont law that passed, and in that work as well. But labeling is another form of regulation. It's a form of causation and liability when harms occur, and so it's very important from a right to know perspective, but also a regulatory perspective. So all of that great state work eventually got the 2016 federal disclosure law passed, which was not what we wanted to see, but a federal law and victory nonetheless. And so now we are, the job is to try to make it as meaningful as possible. The claims in the litigation currently have to do with whether or not it's okay for them to make the disclosures through QR code disclosures that you have to use your smartphone on, that it's obviously discriminatory against folks that don't have smartphones or don't have broadband or live in areas that don't have that, but also the word bioengineered instead of the word we've all used for, several decades on this topic, GMOs or genetically engineered, and the fact that they've exempted the vast majority of the products because they are processed products, among other claims. We also have a kind of a states' rights argument about states' ability to do better than what the government has done. And so that's a big case. And then we have one that we're getting ready to file. I can say we haven't filed it yet, but it's a national case on the USDA regulations of all genetically engineered organisms, which the Trump administration overhauled last summer and worsened, basically exempting most of them from any regulation. Now, the good news side of that is it would allow states and counties freedom from any federal preemption, because basically we won't have any federal law to preempt their efforts. The bad news is we will, USDA wants to get out of the regulation business when it comes to genetically engineered experiments and genetically engineered commercializations. So we're taking them to court on that next month, and that'll be a big case. The next couple of years we'll be working on as well. I also have a lot of pesticide-related GMO cases where we're suing EPA over the pesticide approvals. Like last year, we won a big case on dicamba-resistant crop systems and harm to farmers from dicamba drift, which has been a really big issue across the country. We have another one on Enlist Duo, which is kind of 2,4-D plus glyphosate together. Another one on sulfoxaflor, which is a neonicotinoid pesticide. So lots and lots of pesticide cases because, of course, the crop systems are almost all pesticide-resistant systems, and that's what they engineer the seeds to be resistant to. So that's probably plenty. I think I've gone over time. I apologize for that, but exciting for me to be here with all of you and reminisce a little bit about those times. Oh, I'll share I took this down right before the call. It's usually on the wall there in my office behind me, but here's my Our Family Farms hat, and then this is my memory from the day. It's got the date of the summary judgment on there. You can see that. And then it has everybody, a lot of you on the call signed it for me. It's what I do after a big argument to remember the case by, and then I put it on the wall up there. So, so wonderful memories, and fantastic to be here and celebrate them. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Hi, Tina here. Thank you, George. Thank you for coming tonight, and thank you for all the work you did for us, and all the work you're continuing to do. Yeah, for everybody. So thank you so much. We're going to open it up right now to questions. If anybody has a question for George, raise your hand. If anybody has a question for George or anybody else. And yeah. I can't see the people that I don't see. I don't know if you're okay. I think we're good.
Thank you, George.
Thank you. Right on. All right. Well, then next we're going to do our raffle or our spin. What is it? Oh my God, I forgot. Our door prizes. Yep. We have a little spinning wheel with everybody's name on it. And we have 4 door prizes that we're going to give away, and they're gift certificates or gift cards for $25 gift cards for the growers market, or for you could use it for some of the wonderful stores we have here in farm stores we have here in our alley. So there it is. Yay. All right, here we're gonna spin. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, don't look at it. Debbie. Yay. Debbie gets a $25 gift card to use at the farmer's market or at a farm store. Let's see. Anna. Yay. All right, we have 2 more. What do we have? Bill, yay, Bill, you're a winner. All right, and let's see, one more. Who's it gonna be? Seth. Seth, are you here? Yeah. All right, well, great. Jennifer's going to probably send you guys an email and to get your addresses so we can send you the cards. And just want to thank you for coming out. And
Elise.
Yeah, and I'm going to turn it over to Elise.
Yeah. Is anybody else dizzy from the spinner?
Oh my God, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I just wanted to say thank you to all of you that are current members of our family farms. And for those of you that aren't, just to remind you, like for $5 a month, you can, or I think it's $10 a month, you can be a continuing member, or $25 a year. It really does mean a lot, especially to all of you who are like core people and making this happen. It just, you know, it gives us hope that the work we're doing really still means something to you. And it does to us, but it's just, you know, we need to be part of a bigger group, right? So having a GMO-free seed sanctuary is still taking a lot of work. We're still working with the county. We still have a lot of things to do and to protect it. And we need all of your support. Even if it's not very much money every month, it's mental support because it means that you really care and that it's important to you. So I just wanted to put that out to you, and to share the work of what we all accomplished together. And if it's still important, please either volunteer or, you know, donate a little something every month. I just want to say thank you so much to Jennifer, who helped put this evening together. Jennifer is our kind of Oz behind the scenes. Not many people, she probably won't, there, I see you, Jennifer. Can you put yourself on speaker or something? So, but she is amazing, just keeping us all together, you know, crazy farmers and philanthropists that we are. We just couldn't do it without her. So Jennifer, thank you so, so much for everything you do. Appreciate it. So we're just going to open it up to anybody wants to share a favorite memory or whatever. I mean, I would keep it under a few minutes if we can, but you know, who knows? We're a small little group. So I think this was what it was all about, all of us and our experiences, and just wonderful to see people together. And I was saying in the chat, like, I feel like we're lifelong friends. Like, I don't think that for better or worse, you're not going to get rid of me. Like, we are just here in this together. So it was an experience that I'll never forget. So who wants to share anything? I think we could just unmute yourself, or should I call Bill? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we were just having a good time, kind of reminiscing and connecting. And when that cartoon came up, that's our really good friend Jack Weens that did that cartoon of the stop, you know. And so I called him up. I just gave him a quick call, and then the three of us were reminiscing about, we were out knocking on doors. And we'd kind of get a territory, and we'd do a block, and we'd come back together and say, oh my God, everybody we talked to said yes. Everybody's supporting this. This is awesome. So thank you for doing this. It's been just delightful reconnecting and, you know, hearing the stories and everything. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Yay. Who else wants to share a memory?
I'll share a physical memory here that you might all recognize. Oops, look backwards. This is the lawn sign that we've had ever since the campaign.
Put your hand up if you still have your lawn sign. Got it.
One somewhere, yeah. Yep, in storage.
I have extras if anybody wants one.
We did have one farmer who got hundreds and made bee boxes. Oh, look at your pens. Yay.
Oh my gosh.
Yay. Who else wants to share a memory?
You're unmuted.
That was a good sign, Anna.
You're unmuted if you want to talk.
Oh, I got, this is Matt. And the big memory that popped into my head was canvassing with Tootsie. Remember my little dog Tootsie? And Tootsie and I would literally jog and run from house to house to house for hours. And I remember Tootsie eventually had enough, and she would just dig her paws in the middle of the street and look at me with this look on her face like, that is it, mister. I am done. We are going home. Anyway.
And then you pick her up and keep going.
Right. I picked her up and carried her for another 2 hours. Right. Anyway, so many fond memories. And what I realized is that this type of activity for me, it means more than just about anything. This level of connection with a cause that's greater than myself, greater than us. It brings us together with cohesion that I think many of us may never find and have never had in the past either. It's so intangibly important and hugely valuable. So thank you to all of you. Love you all.
I want to follow on that, just to affirm the wonderful friendships. Can't hear anything? Oh, just wanted to follow on about the wonderful friendships that have come out of this, I know, in my life, and just the larger sense of community that Jackson County felt as a community, as an identity, as a sense of empowerment about what we could do and how much we cared about our farmers and our land and our environment. So I just think it was a wonderful experience for the community as a whole that still we carry with us. And I think the same for Josephine County had that experience also. So that's my memory that still lives on for me.
Thanks, Anna.
I also want to share something.
Oh, yeah. I have a memory that I think is maybe less known, but Elise, you'll probably know it, and Brent would for sure. I remember after the campaign, right, I got a call from Senator Bates's office to work for him, which would have never happened because I was a caregiver before. So that was remarkable, of course. And then I remember though working there, and we're doing all of these different bills. And then I get a call from Brent while the litigation is happening. And he says, there is a bill that passed the House. Senator Buckley missed it. He didn't realize what it was, but it literally changes the language that our entire case is based on. And we will lose the case if this bill passes. And it is heading to the Senate now. And I remember walking into Senator Bates's office and I just went, Senator Bates, bill made it through the House. It's gonna gut the GMO bill and it will pass without action from our office. What do you want to do? And he looks, and it was the most clear thing. And he just goes, you take this and you go, you talk to Senator Edwards, you talk to them. And he made the appointments in his name, but then it was me talking. And all I did was say, Brett, what do I have to say? You know, I was like, I'm kind of going off of what do we need here? What's going on? And of all the things that we did, I kind of look back and it's like, I was only in the legislature for a couple years, right? And I would say it's one of those things that I just go, I think grace, there's so much grace involved in this campaign.
Yeah.
And it's like there, I happen to be somebody who's super passionate about this right in that place, right in that moment with Senator Bates saying, okay, yes, let's do this. And that bill was luckily stopped in the Senate, thanks to the work of other folks. Brent came up and testified and all of that aspect of it. So that to me is just one of those additional signs. There's just something so magical. I've worked other campaigns, but nothing has been this. And it's a team. It's something magical is all I can say.
It's called seeds. They're a miracle. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I have a memory that I have to jump in and say, because I remember, I think there was a meeting at the library and I was there and some other people were there. It's a small room, the Guanahara room or whatever that one's called. And I was sitting there on one corner and then this young, nice looking young woman was there and she said something or other. This is my memory anyway. And so I contacted her later and asked her, would she like to help with the campaign? And I went to her house. It was up on Ashland Mine Road at the time. And it's a lovely little house. And we sat there and she sat on one sofa and I sat on one sofa and we talked. And so I finally convinced her, right, Julia?
Yeah, I don't know how much convincing it was. I mean, I think it was like, you're like, we need somebody. And I was like, okay. Like, well,
exactly.
here's how much I need a month. I think I can get by on maybe 800 a month or something. We were negotiating. I was like, how little can I get to help you guys?
I didn't help you with I didn't talk to you about money. I just talked to you about the campaign. Somebody else.
Oh, that's right. You did.
I didn't talk to you about money, but yeah, that was so great. And then you worked on the at the office down there on by Butler Ford, and yeah, it was quite exciting. And then I have one more memory since I'm speaking. Does anybody remember this? I hope I can fit it on the screen.
Oh, yeah. I think I have one of those.
It's very instrumental because when we tabled and we went to the library, we went all around, Jan Lyon, who's not on the call, and Chris Hardy and many other people. So if you can see this, so all the red spots are where they were putting eighth of an acre, quarter of an acre GMO sugar beets. And then the green radius is the pollen spread of those. And the green circles are, how about that, organic farms? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So thank you to everyone who participated in creating these maps because they were wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you all. This is an amazing experience and I still remember it as something that just changed the face and the quality of living in Jackson County. Thank you.
I remember I put that map on my wall a patient of mine brought it in, and I put it on the wall, and every patient who came in, I dragged them over to it and explained the thing to them. And it was great. It was so wonderful. Great map.
It's a good visual. Ray, do you want to share?
Yeah, Julia just brought this little glass in. I don't know if you can see it. So I'll read. It's another little memento that we have. Josephine County, remember? Oregonians for safe farms and families. A nice little wine glass. Free Josephine County. Yeah, I also wanted to say, many years ago, I thought I came to Ashland area to retire for a second time, but it didn't work. It didn't work out. And that's supposed to be a joke. That didn't work out in a good way, because I got a phone call one night after I had done a little presentation at the library in Medford on an event that a fellow by the name of Don and Donna. Geez, senior moment. Don't remember his last name. Anyway, he hooked me into giving a 15-minute presentation about GMOs. And within a day or two, I got two very interesting calls. One of them was from Brian Combs. I don't think he's with us here tonight. And basically, what I'm remembering about that phone conversation, he had been to my presentation, and he says to me, more or less, what side are you on anyway, Dr. Side? I said, well, what do you mean, what side? What? Well, you know, there's a measure. There's a measure underway in Jackson County, and blah 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 blah. And I said, oh, that sounds interesting. Let's go have a beer. Anyway, that's my remembrance for the moment. And the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah.
Well, I want to share a quick memory. I'm conscious of the time, but I first saw Dr. Ray Seidler at the Talent Garden Club. He gave a presentation on genetic engineering stuff before the meeting. And so I went over there and I sat there and my jaw just dropped. And I thought, oh, dear God, I think I have just met Mr. Rogers, because he took us on a bus ride, and he made very complicated science. You know, he simplified it to the point where we were all on the bus and looking out the window, and he said, picture this, and this is what you're going to see here and there. And I thought, it was just magical. And I thank the good Lord that, you know, you found your way to Ashland and joined the campaign, because the house parties that we had, people just came to listen to you, and it really made a difference. So thank you, Ray, so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I'm the only person on this event tonight in which I'm able to share. Brent has left, but he's one of the two people, Ann is the other, that I am absolutely convinced made it possible for me to still be alive and present here tonight. So, Ann, what can I say? You can't just say thank you. You can say, oh my God, thank you.
Right.
I just want to throw this out there. You know, I was trained in door-to-door sales, and when I was brought onto the campaign, and everybody was like, oh, we got to go canvass Ashland. We got to go canvass Ashland. And I can remember being a thorn in Brent's heels. Eagle Point, go to Eagle Point, Eagle Point, go to Eagle Point. And we were canvassing, and I was training volunteers who had no clue what they were doing. This is how you do it. And we get to doors and they're like, I don't want anybody telling me what to do with my property, and I'm a staunch Republican, and you're not going to tell me what to do. And we're like, exactly. That's why you need to vote yes, because we don't want people telling us what to do. And anyway, and it was just a trip, just being out there, and Brent throwing me in front of a camera, right? I was raised a flower child in Berkeley, and he kept throwing me in front of the camera, and he taught me how to sell anything on that camera. And it was just so crazy, just what was going on, and the educating of people. For 3 years or whatever it was, we were at every event, tabling and educating people and turning them around, and it was just magic what happened. So I'm really grateful to be here and for the opportunity.
Nice to see you.
Thank you. What about Tatanka?
Oh, hi, I'm Tatanka Brickett. I don't know any of you. I never heard of Our Family Farm till a couple weeks ago. Any of you remember Leno, Magdaleno Rosavio?
Oh, yes.
Well, he's a dear friend. My wife and I were on the road in the Midwest visiting kids, and he calls up, he says, there's this thing, you know, these people, they're so amazing. And it was such a great time of my life, so full of love, you know, GMO issue and everything. So I have other things to do tonight, but I just had to drop in and say, you know, it was, you meant a lot to him. And I'm a lifelong community organizer. So when we met, I was organized UFW with and a good friend of Dolores Huerta and the whole family. And I was the first organizer for Amnesty International. And then he came into Amnesty, and we've just done a lot throughout time, but I didn't even, you know, I didn't even know about you all. And I'm so happy to meet you.
Oh, thank you.
Visit.
Welcome
Sorry,
to
I couldn't be here at the beginning, but life is very busy.
Yeah.
If you see Leno, send him our love.
Yes, please.
He sent our invitation out to his listserv, which is a gazillion people, and David Bronner answered. And David really, I'll share it later. I can't find it right now, but he said, we did it, you know, and thank you for all that you did. And we got rid of he didn't say get rid of the bums, but something like that, you know, like we tossed them out. Yeah, we tossed out Monsanto.
And I do know that Leno has taken, you know, has used that relationship to pass out Dr. Bronner's soaps and everything all over the world for a mini cause.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to share anything? I want to be cognizant of the time. I just want to know, like, anybody can pop off at any time, but I think it's so exciting to see all of you. So I really love to hear from all of you. Mina, I want to hear from you.
Yeah. Where are you?
Where am I? I'm in Medford. I moved back. I bought a house in last August and moved in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's great to be back. Oh, I have so many memories. I don't.
Give us one. Just give us one.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just a jumble. I remember trying to set up that Butler Ford office so everyone could start making the phone calls and having the computers, because nothing was working, and having the phone company people come in and running this coaxial cable all across the ceiling and stapling it up to get it back to the back room so we could hook up all the computers. Driving to Medford in the morning to that office in the Woolworth building, opening it up, being there a few hours, going back to the other building, back and forth. That was like every day. And the tabling, Christina put up with me with she had it down to a science how to do all that tabling and all the boxes and everything. Just anyway,
I love working with you, Mina. Don't say that.
What?
I loved working with you. Don't say that.
Oh, well, good. I remember the first time I met Chris Hardy, and he walked in, and I thought, wow, he's such a bright spirit. I love Chris right off the bat. You know, you gotta love Chris, and just so many things. I love the last day when we're all voting, and I was in the back of a pickup truck parked on Main Street, waving signs, and it was fun to actually be out there with people, you know, because I was mostly in the background doing stuff for the office, and it was just a really special time. And seeing everybody just brings it all back. It's great, and still making all these connections, keeping all these connections. How's that?
Nice. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, it was great.
Matt, I just want to say, Matt, I just want to say again, I think I already mentioned you, but you were like a rock for me during the campaign. Like, I remember feeling like sometimes just so tired out and just like, how am I going to do this again? And I'd walk in and you were there again in the office, like after your job, after work, before work, bringing in with snacks and doing things. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you were I'm sure you still are, such an angel, and just really gave me the like power I needed to finish. And I just thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an Energizer bunny. I remember.
I know. I was like, God, I got to keep up with this guy.
And the only other person I wanted to recognize is Michael Franson. He's not here.
Oh, yeah.
And Cause did every single farmer's market for like, I don't even know how many farmers markets. Oh, so
Is
sweet.
Michael
So
still
good to see all of
around? Is he still in the area? Michael Frampton, is he still around?
He's in Medford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Should we say anything before we go? Can we just raise a glass and just whatever you're drinking, just to say like, we did it. It was so amazing. I'm so proud of us and just
We did it.
Forever grateful to all of you. Yeah. Here's to the seeds. May they
Thank you,
continue to
everyone.
grow.
Thank you, everyone. You're awesome.
Same. Let's do it again next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it again in person next year.
Yes, yes. Year 8. Love you all.
Yeah.
Love you all.
Nice to see
Love you
Tom.
too. Miss you guys.
Great job, whoever pulled this together.
Yeah.
Yay.
It was everyone as usual.
Tatanka,
Good to
thank
see
you.
you.
So nice to meet you.
Yeah, so nice.
Yeah.
Tatanka, tell them we said hi. Tell Leno we said hi.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will.
We were kind of hoping he would be here tonight.
And he owes us. You tell him he owes us, right? So.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you,
Chris.
Thank
everyone.
You,
Yeah.
Chris.
Love you
So
guys.
fun to see you.
Oh my gosh.
Love you, Chris.
Mary, you didn't say
Love you
anything.
too, Matt.
Yeah, Mary.
Mary, you don't
Julia.
have anything to say? She's gone.
I don't want to go.
You don't have to go. Aw.
Good to see
So,
you.
we didn't announce, we're going to have a member-only gathering at the end of the summer, early fall. So we are really hoping people just sign up to even the basic membership so that we can all be together,
Right.
when it's not the month of May, that and other times. So.
That was so fun.
Good seeing you, Elise.
This
Good
was
seeing
fun.
you.
Good to see you, Mina.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah, Mina, we need to go get coffee or tea
Yeah, let's
together.
do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it for sure.
Yeah.
I'm all bulletproof. I'm a good. Let's do it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Jeanette,
All right.
I work in Medford, right across the street from the Medford Food Co-op.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm about a mile from there. Something I'm real close by.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anna, thank you so much for being here. So sweet to see your face.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
I miss you all.
Oh, I just got a text from Brian.
Oh,
I know. So anyway, he was a little late, but
he's in a different time zone.
he is in Southwest Utah. Yeah. Mhm.
Right.
Utah.
What
Yeah.
a time. What a time.
I know.
Yeah. I love you all. Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay,
Elise.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a part of my life for 7 years.
Are you good?
Thank you. Good
Yeah.
night, everybody.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
Look forward to
check
seeing you
out.
all. Peggy, Mina, we'll connect. Let's all connect.
Yeah.
Mina, we have open positions on our board, just FYI. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mina.
Great.
All right. It's good to see you.
Let's do coffee.
Thank you so much, Tina. Great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. This
Mm.
went well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank
It was
you,
a
Anne,
really
for
wonderful group event.
yeah, and thank you for being the pushing us doing something, even if it was Zoom, because I was being a bugger and saying I didn't want to do anything Zoom. So I'm really glad you did it.
I think it turned out really nicely.
It was really
Yeah.
Really nice.
Right.
Yeah. This is
It's
good.
amazing how intimate you can get on a screen. So,
especially when you see everybody's faces. You
oh,
know?
it's the best. It's the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are so special.
Oh,
You too.
Yeah, you too. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well,
Love
can't
you
wait to
all.
see you in person.
Yeah. Thanks
Okay.
again, Jennifer.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you for everything, Jennifer. You're an angel.
Thank you,
yeah, you're
Jennifer.
so welcome.
Love you.
Jen is our earth angel.
Yeah,
for
this
sure.
couldn't have happened without you, seriously.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it just wouldn't have happened.
No.
We would have all thought about it.
That was great. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Jennifer,
Thank
was it
you.
fun? Was it fun for you to hear some of the history?
Write all the names down.
Definitely, yeah.
Nice.
I hope we got the whole thing recorded.
Yep, it's still recording.
Oh, shut it off.
Well, we can cut it down, I think,
Yeah,
the
edit.
actual video.
Yeah.
So
Good job, you guys.
Oh, that was fun. Janae, are you still there?
Everybody.
It's Janet.
Janet.
Who's Janet?
I don't know.
Janae?
It's not Janae, it's
That's
Janet.
Oh.
Is it Janet Bell?
Oh, is
Maybe,
it?
I don't know.
Oh, she would put Belle on there.
Yeah.
Janet? Who are you? Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe it's
fun.
really Monsanto. Janet, state your name. It's from it's from what was that organs for, or what were their names? God.
Oregonians for, oh, I forget.
I know. See how easy that was. Not good.
Words I was like, I was gonna say something, and then I was like, oh no, I don't know if I can say that.
Oh my gosh. I remember one of the things I wanted to tell that's so silly that would only mean, it would probably mean something to you, Tina, because you could understand, but
What?
I went to the Weimar Grange and gave a presentation, and they served chili, and it had meat in it, and I hadn't eaten any meat for 23 years.
Wow.
23 years. And I was like, they like handed me a bowl of chili, and I was like, holy fuck, seriously? So I was like, for harmony's sake, I'm going to eat this chili. And I was thinking, not only am I eating meat, and I haven't eaten meat in 23 years, but it's probably like freaking pesticide. Who knows what's in this meat at the Weimar Grange? I was like, oh my God. Take one for the
that's the
team.
Weimar. That was the Weimar Grange. I know.
Oh.
Yeah. One of the memories I have of you were getting ready to go on the Bill Moyer show or Meyer show.
Bill Meyer.
And Kent came over because he and I were both members of the, we were members of the Farm Bureau.
Yeah.
So I was like Elisa's spy. Farm Bureau. And Kent goes, did you get the thing in the mail? And I'm like, what thing in the mail? And so I went through my stuff in my mail, and I was like, this card, and I can't remember what it was, but I was like, oh, I got to send this to Elise.
Yeah.
So I took a picture of it and I sent it to you, and you're like, oh, that's great. I'm going to talk. I'm going on air with Bill Meyer's show, and I'm going to talk about it right then.
Exactly. I just like nip that rumor in the bud. Yeah. That was great. I know you got all that good, juicy information from the other side.
Yeah, it's good.
The Bill Meyer show was so horrible. Medford at 5 a.m. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Have you? Yeah, I know. He was on our side, but can't listen to that dude anymore. Wow.
There was this guy that came from Syngenta, and he got so mad at me, he slammed his fist down in the radio room, and Bill Meyer asked him to leave.
Really?
He was so mad. Yeah, because he was like representing the Good Neighbor Farmers, and again, I was like, "Are you representing the Good Neighbor Farmers?" And he was like, "Oh, yes, I am. I'm blah 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 blah." You know, and I said, "Are you a farmer?" And he said, "Well, not exactly." I'm like, "Are you my neighbor?" And he was like, "Didn't you fly into Medford this morning for this?" And he was so mad. Oh my gosh. And he slammed his fist down. He's like, "You can't say stuff like that." And Bill Meyer was like, "You can't talk like that in my studio." And oh my gosh, it was a scene. And he was like, way to piss him off early on, Elise, good job. And I was like, well, you know, he's got more ammunition. I got to get him somewhere. Down and dirty. He started laughing.
Yeah. Well, during the campaign, when I really knew that things were gonna, I remember being on Facebook in the month of April, and your birthdays kept coming up. Like, it was like, it's Chris Hardy's birthday tomorrow. And then it was Elisa's birthday tomorrow. And then it said, it was Barbara's birthday, and then Marishka. And I'm like, oh my God, they're all Aries. We're gonna win. We have all these Aries in the group. We're gonna win. Aries never lose.
No, well, we're really bad losers.
Yes, the really bad losers, and you don't take no for an answer. And so, yeah.
That's so funny. I know that's like a memory I have too, is like Brent said, you know, write out the speech, like your winning speech. And then, you know, if we don't win. And so then I saw him that afternoon and he was like, did you write out the speeches? And I was like, I only wrote the winning speech. And he was like, seriously? And I was like, yeah, I couldn't swallow writing the loser speech. I couldn't do it. And he was like, all right. You know, and I was like,
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
Oh man.
Ugh.
It was fun.
Well, I got thrown off a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
No questions. I was like, oh.
I know that was weird.
I thought it would give me a little bit more time, like somebody would answer a question. And then,
yeah,
and then
it was good.
Very interesting that nobody had any questions.
I know.
They were
Well,
just enjoying looking at each other, I think, for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it was nice for a lot of people to, I mean, I hadn't seen a lot of those people in a long time. Sweet. Nice. Now, I know, I wish I would have sent out more like personal invitations to people as like people were flashing in my mind. I was like, oh,
yeah,
you know, Belle and some other people.
But you know what?
It's okay.
This is the biggest group we've had, because 2019, there was maybe a handful of people. And 2018 was at the Caldera, hardly anybody showed up for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, maybe
the
Zoom's the way
last
to go.
really big one we did was the one that was in the community building in Ashland.
Or in Ashland,
Where
or in
Leno and Ray were both there.
Well, in Talent, we had that one in Talent.
Yeah, the one in
That
Talent.
was.
Oh yeah, that was.
No,
a big
that
one.
was. That was actually a January
Oh,
event.
meeting, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We should have the annual meetings again. The annual meetings were good.
I know, we need to do that.
Yeah. Good to get input.
Things we need
Well, I'm
to
gonna
do.
go and say hi to our relatives that are here.
That
It was
sounds
so good to
good.
see you all. Jen,
so
thank you
much,
again for
everybody. This is
dealing with my last minuteness and changing stuff.
I just finished my last one. Cheers. Thanks, you guys. This was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Y'all
Thank
did a
you.
great job.
Thank you. You too. Yeah, it was great. Thanks, Jen, for just like winging it and getting that. Were you stressed trying to follow us?
A little bit, but I got through it. It was all
It's like,
good.
oh God. You did a really good job.
Maud. Thanks, Maud.
I think she's gone.
I think she's
just left her
gone.
screen
Oh
on.
yeah. Someone's keeping the recording though.
Yeah. Well,
She still has the power.
yeah. Well, I'm a co-host, so I can end the meeting and
Nice.
post it in.
Thanks, Jen. Appreciate it.
And we won't miss anything.
Bye.
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 Love y'all.
You too.
Bye.